Coming up on Guys Talking Sports, we talk about the NBA Finals, the Cavaliers versus the Warriors, which starts right now. We also talk about the roads of how they got there and the differences between the different conferences. We're also going to talk about NBA coaches now, where there's a new trend with college coaches coming into play. We're also going to talk about the FIFA corruption, and with the president resigning, how's it going to look for the FIFA overall? My guest host, Adrian Catwell, joins me now on Guys Talking Sports. Hey everybody, what's going on? This is Guys Talking Sports, your host Al Qualls. And I'd like to say first, before we get started, I want to say thank you for everybody that's been subscribing to the YouTube channels and posting up their comments. I really do appreciate it. My guest host with me is Adrian Catwell. So what's going on, Adrian, man? How you doing, man?
I'm good, man. It's Thursday night. The fever's in the air. Cavaliers, Warriors. It's going to be a great series.
Yeah, man, it is going to be a great series, and I mean, a couple of days off, it's been nothing but anticipation. So it'll be good to see this get started and kick off the right way. So
indeed.
Since we're talking about the NBA playoffs and the NBA Finals jumping off, any thoughts about the teams and how they got there? I know we talked. I mean, I know you wasn't there, but last week me and Earl was talking about how the Cavaliers had sort of I guess you could say, an easy way to the finals in comparison to what the Warriors had to go through. So I just want to get your quick thoughts on that.
I mean, all right. So we all know the East is weak, point blank. It's unfortunate that when Cleveland played the Bulls that Noah went down. Not Noah, I'm sorry. Gasol was hurt.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, but he was healthy in the beginning, and when he was healthy, you could see that the Bulls was toe-to-toe. You even kind of thought that the Bulls might have had a really good shot to knock him out in that round. Gasol went down and went downhill from there. Atlanta, just never had a chance. Cleveland has played some outstanding basketball in that series. I mean, I thought that personally. I watched the first game in the Atlanta series, and Atlanta was just in their butt. I mean, just kicking their butt. And I turned the channel. I woke up and found out they won. I was like, ooh, okay. And then I kind of watched all the games from that point on, and I was like, Cleveland's going to be all right. Now, when you flip it to Golden State, Golden State, yeah, you get Splash Brothers. Steph is unbelievable. Klay Thompson is incredible. They got Harrison Barnes, who doesn't get all the respect that he deserves coming out of North Carolina. Outstanding player. I think Draymond Green.
Yes.
I think he plays the 4.
Yes.
Great player. I mean, a star in his own right. And then you got my man playing the 5. Bogut,
mm-hmm.
I believe.
Yep.
I think, like how I always approved when the Big Three was in Miami, and you just knew Wade and LeBron was going to get theirs. I think you kind of got to go with that same approach, that Steph is going to get his. Klay, if he's going to get his, he's going to get his. But you let them two get theirs, but you got to shut down the rest of the team. You can't let Draymond Green abuse you for 20 points. You can't let Bogut go down there and dominate the boards. You can't get Harrison Barnes get some of those garbage points, those open threes and blah blah. You got to play. The defense is going to be tight. Steph and Klay got a quick release. I mean, they're going to do what they're going to do regardless. So just like LeBron, LeBron is really having a really, really bad shooting playoff series as a whole, but he's still putting up double-doubles, almost triple-doubles every game, which is incredible, But I think, honestly, if Tristan Thompson and Mozgov come out there and put up big games this series, and not even so much Tristan Thompson putting up points, but just being nasty on the boards like he was all last series and just being dominant on the glass and Mozgov got to get you about between 12 and 17 a game, and he has to dominate the boards too. And don't let Bogut and Draymond Green get in the paint and do what they do. If they dominate the boards, they control the paint, I think Cleveland has a very good chance. And I'm probably one of the few in the minority that believe that Cleveland is going to win in 6.
Yes, I believe you are in the minority. I know that you believe that, and we've been going back and forth about this, about which team is going to win. So I understand it, but it definitely goes both ways. Defense is going to be key, and I believe that regardless of the fact, like you said, if they contain the Splash Brothers, and I mean, even if the Splash Brothers get their points, if they contain everybody else, it'll definitely help out Cleveland, and vice versa with as far as the Warriors is concerned as well. Let LeBron go for his 48, but if you stop everybody else, then it could be the same way as far as the edge goes to the Warriors. I really believe that this first game is going to be telling because it'll definitely show, where the level of intensity is going to be for both teams. Who's definitely going to pay. Kyrie Irving is key. If he plays tonight, I don't know if he's playing right now or not, but as long as he's playing in the series, Cleveland has a better chance of winning.
Right.
If he doesn't play, then their chances diminish. And
he's gonna play.
I know he is gonna play.
But how effectively?
Exactly, and how healthy he's going to be is going to be key.
Right.
Especially if you guarding Stephen Curry. So
I wouldn't put him on Steph.
Yeah, well, that's true too. Who would you put on Steph?
I put Shumpert.
I see the defensive matchup is going to be interesting, but I do have to say this: I also give the edge to Steve Kerr than to David Blatt. So
as a coach,
because whoever makes those type of matchups, is key. Now, granted, if LeBron coaches and tells Shump where he needs to go and stuff like that, then it's a trade-off. But I put it like this: this is going to be an entertaining series. To be honest, I'm glad that this is a new series of Warriors and Cavs, something that we haven't had before. Because even though LeBron is still in the finals, to have the Cavs team against a Warriors team that really is their first trip to the finals in over 30 years, 40 plus years, this is definitely going to be something different. And to be honest, as an NBA fan, no matter who wins, I think the fans is going to win regardless.
Oh yeah, because everybody's tired of the same old teams making it to the finals.
Yes.
I know I was tired of Miami making it. I know I was tired of Dallas and whoever that Miami. Oh, San Antonio. Don't get me wrong. I love watching San Antonio play. Don't get me wrong, but
you need that. You need something different.
Right.
Yeah. And I agree with that. And I do love San Antonio as well, but I'm glad to see something completely different into the lineup. So
this is a quick score update showing on my Bleacher Report app. Shout out to Bleacher Report. This app is dope. I don't want no ESPN app. Bleacher app, dope. If you don't got the Bleacher app, go out to your app store, go to Google Play, go to the Apple iPhone store, grab it. Incredible app. I don't know. I was sleeping on it for the longest time. I just happened to grab it a couple weeks ago, and I
wait, you really? You just got it?
I just got it. I knew nothing about this. So I'm plugging it. Bleacher Report, if you don't got it, go get it. But anyway, I'm showing that Cleveland is up 6, 19-13. I'm sure there's a delay with my scoring feed here with 2:55 in the first quarter.
Okay.
But it's obvious you could tell that, as far as experience goes, Cleveland doesn't really have any – I'm sorry. Golden State, I believe, doesn't have anybody who's ever been to the championship. And, of course, outside of LeBron and Cleveland, nobody's there has been to the championship. So at least LeBron has that edge that say, I could tell you what it's like. I could tell you what to expect. I could tell you this and that. But what we haven't talked about is the bench. Like, if you had to give a edge to whose bench you think is deeper, before Kevin Love got injured, I probably would have leaned to Cleveland because Well, you know what? You really can't say that because Tristan Thompson, though, came off the bench, wasn't the same player coming off the bench as he is a starter. And right now, he's playing for that contract.
Well, more so than, well, I'll put it like this, and this was me. Since the beginning of the season, I always thought that Tristan Thompson, I didn't understand the whole Kevin Love trade because Tristan Thompson was the next person to step up, and I believe that he was going to be that glue guy that they needed to get defensively wise. And when they made the trade for Kevin Love, I was wondering, like, how's that going to affect Thompson overall?
Mm-hmm.
Because if he was I don't know if he's a free agent or a restricted free agent at the end of the season, but if he was available and if Love was still playing, I'm wondering if they would have got to where they are if Love would have, still been on the, wouldn't have got hurt. So, I mean, especially because their philosophy changed when Love is in the lineup. I mean, because they will go to that Miami style ball when they have a shooter out,
Mm-hmm.
But I still have to say this: when they made the trade for Mozgov, Iman, and JR, that solidified them defensively, which they were sorely lacking.
Yeah, but then what I like about Cleveland is just that though JR Shumpert, the shooting is so erratic, but when Smith is on, boy, he is on, lights out, and when Shumpert is balling, Shumpert is balling, and that's what I like. Though they don't have a big three per se, they have LeBron, and then they have company. They have somebody else that steps up. It could be Della Vanova, or I can't pronounce his name. Mm-hmm. He come out and drop 20 for you. You just don't know who that next man is going to be to step up.
That is true. No, that is true.
And that's what and their defense. I'm not saying Golden State defense is like that because I know their bench. They got AI. They got
Well, they the number one defense in the NBA. They had the number one defensive efficiency in the NBA.
Cleveland.
Golden State.
Golden State. Who's number two? Cleveland?
I do not know. Cleveland was number two after they made the trade to Smith, Shumpert, and Mozgov, I believe. But they was right up there as well.
All I know is that it's going to be crazy. I just know that I'm not a betting man. I hate to gamble because, of course, with gambling, if you win, you feel great. If you lose, you feel like an idiot.
Yeah.
I would never bet, but something in my gut tell me Cleveland in 6. And I'm not hearing anybody at all saying anything about Cleveland winning this series.
No. Now you haven't been on Google Plus because there are a lot of Cleveland lovers out there. They're saying that. They were saying that Cavs was going to sweep them.
Hold on. I'm a West Virginia homer, but I'm not a Cleveland homer.
Yeah, I know.
Cleveland ain't going to sweep. Because Steph could drop 50 on you and Clay could drop 50 on you, and that's 100 right there without nobody else touching the ball.
Yeah.
And I honestly believe that both of them at one point in their careers, if they're together, will drop 40+ together at the same time. It's destined.
Yeah, no, I think that already happened this season.
Oh, really?
Yes, I'm pretty sure that happened, or they was up there in the high. I think while when Thompson dropped 50 or somewhere close to it, I think Curry dropped either 38 or something. I have to double check the stats. They are gonna go off. Like I said, I never thought that anything was gonna be a sweep. Regardless of the game, regardless of the series goes, it's gonna be at least 6 games. I do not see it going in 5. I see it going in 6. I guess a lot of people didn't realize that because let's be honest, like we didn't think that they was gonna sweep the Hawks. Cavs was gonna sweep the Hawks. We didn't think that the Warriors was gonna take care of the Rockets in 5 games.
Right.
So that just shows how the competition is between, just let's be honest, where these two teams are in the NBA season. They're just right up there. And I think it's something interesting to see. Getting back to the bench, as much as, if if Kyrie was playing to his potential, I would say that Cleveland's bench and the Warriors bench would be sort of even. Now that Dellavedova, if he's starting or playing more minutes, I would give the edge to the Warriors off just because of the fact that when they have more of a run and gun type of style, but they're all over the place as far as their bench is all over the place. Where if their bench started against the Cleveland bench, I think the Warriors bench would easily win.
Right. Oh, scoring update. Per Bleacher Report, shout out to Bleacher Report again. I'm showing Cleveland 26, Golden State 14. A minute 14 left in the first quarter.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Because I would have expected the Warriors to come out more passionate than it is.
Well, I'm thinking it's the first game, championship jitters. They're not used to that. They don't have somebody that can sit there and say, "I've been through this. This is how you need to act. This is what you need to do."
Well, they do have one in their coach.
Oh, okay, Kerr. But okay, yeah, true.
And he played with Jordan, so
yeah, but he wasn't a focal point.
Yeah, well, that's true too.
Kerr was interchangeable.
That's
where DJ Armstrong came to play. You know what I'm saying?
That is true.
What's my man Tucker? No, he was with the
Knicks.
He was with the Knicks. My bad. But I thought he played with the Bulls too at some point.
Oh, you talking about Craig Hodges?
Oh, Craig Hodges, right. They're dark skinned.
Nah, the only reason why I knew that is because I love Craig Hodges as a player.
Right.
When he was on the Bulls, so.
Right.
Nah, but it definitely is going to be interesting to see. I'm very anxious to see how this series plays out. On a different note, since we're talking NBA, your takes on the firing of Coach Tom Thibodeau from the Chicago Bulls.
Man, look, I think the Bulls are premature with that. But then again, you know what? Chicago is probably banking on the same luck that happened with Golden State. Mark Jackson took them to the second round of the playoffs and got fired.
Mm-hmm.
They're thinking keep the team intact, get a player or something, bring in somebody, take them to the next level. I don't think Mark Jackson is a bad coach. I think maybe the offense that he was trying to instill may not have been the best offense in the world. But could Mark Jackson have altered his offense or changed the offensive scheme to be a little bit more fluid? Sure. Yeah. I know Mark Jackson is probably sitting there probably just sitting there every day just watching this joke. Is like, dude, I knew I was one season away. I knew that if I had one more season, I probably could be here right now. But because he's successful and I think it was just that they were just bumping heads. Thibodeau and the front office just wasn't seeing eye to eye.
No, and the same thing with Jackson and the Golden State front office. Like they had different views and philosophies, and it got real ugly real quick. Mm-hmm. But here's my question to you: if you was a general manager or an owner of a team, and you had conflicts or disagreements with your coach, but yet you're still winning, would you let him go and try and find somebody else to take his place, knowing that you may have been on the brink of becoming or actually being an NBA champion?
Every successful company, every successful entity has bumps and bruises where general managers, owners, whomever, co-owners, whatever, just don't see eye to eye. But know that it has to be something bigger than what's going on at the top. Mm-hmm. General managers, owners, coaches don't play the game. It's the players. You know what I'm saying? And if the players are responding to the coaches and they're doing a good job, then I have to look past the differences and say, you know what, look, we need to sit down and iron out whatever differences that we have. Let's try to make this work. Now, if I give you that extra year, and I see that things are just really not. If I'm seeing that Mark Jackson coached this year and he got to the second round and got knocked out, coached the following year, got to the second round and knocked out, then I'll sit there and say, well, you know what? Now you got some real talent here, and for whatever reason you can't get over the hump.
Mm-hmm.
I would evaluate it then. But he took over the team when Steph was constantly injured, couldn't stay healthy. He was always twisting his ankle, blah, blah, blah. Then he drafted Clay, and then they had a little run. And then he got to the second round the following year. Or the 2 years, I'm sorry. I would have had to give him a second chance. No, not a second chance, but I would have to give the benefit of the doubt that maybe, he's arrogant, but maybe his arrogance and the players loving him or liking him as a coach can propel him to the next level. And I got to put my ego to the side,
Well, like you said, with owners, like you said, they do have egos,
Mm-hmm.
and they feel as though that if someone is under them, complaining about something that they built up, it may be magnified at least 5 times as much. Without actually seeing the big picture, they may figure, hey, if you don't get on board with what I'm trying to, what I'm doing as the owner, then I could definitely bring somebody in and take your place. And I think that's what's been going on with not just Coach Thibodeau, but Mark Jackson as well.
Mm-hmm.
But it's now been a trend now where a lot of owners now are hiring young coaches or coaches without the NBA experience. And you see that now with Fred Hoiberg being the new coach for the Bulls. And you see that as well with, I forgot the other person that got hired with Thunder as the head coach. But like now, head coaches are now becoming like top assistants coaches.
Mm-hmm.
So it's definitely a trend. I just hope that it works out for these teams that are doing that.
Well, I mean, did it work out initially when Pitino did it?
No.
Did it work out? Right. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, some teams get lucky.
True.
And that's all that is. You get a little bit of luck and.
Well, think about it as this, because you got 2 rookie coaches now that's in the NBA Finals. So.
Yeah. Steve Kerr inherited a bomb squad, man. He didn't have no scrubs. He's not doing it like how the dude, the coach from the Celtics, who Ainge gutted that squad, and he built it up through the draft and brought in some pieces. And by the draw of the Celtics being in the East, was able to make it into the playoffs with a crappy record. You know what I mean? Celtics are only going to get better. They got some young pieces in place. They're only going to get better. You know what I mean? What happens when Klay Thompson realizes that, I'm sick and tired of being this Steph shadow. I'm going to go be my own man in a different squad. Then what? What is Golden State after Klay leaves? Are they still as nice?
It's a good question. Well, to be honest, it doesn't take, like you say, it doesn't take much to bring somebody aboard, especially someone with the same attributes as a Klay Thompson. And there's definitely people like that that's in the NBA draft who some people are comparing to. There's some players out there that people are comparing as the next such and such or the next person that's coming out. So, I mean, there's people that's saying one person is going to be the next Klay Thompson, or another person saying it's going to be the next LaMarcus Aldridge, and so on. So, I think that's where I like the Celtics are utilizing that in their draft, knowing that as long as we're picking in players that we think is going to be the next somebody, I think we'll be good. And I think it's starting to trend, because not only that, you're getting college coaches to help groom these young players to the next level in the NBA. So
I mean, I agree with you, but in the same sense, let's take the last draft for example. Everybody knew that. What's my man that played for the Timberwolves now? Who the Cleveland? Wiggins. Wiggins was dope.
Uh-huh.
If my man didn't go down for Milwaukee,
Jabari Parker.
right? If he didn't go down, he was balling.
Mm-hmm.
Marcus Smart was doing his thing in Boston.
Mm-hmm.
Um, how many rookies from last year's draft stand out in your mind?
To be honest, I would say out of roughly would be I could think of roughly about 6 or 7 off my head tops that stand
And
out.
and
Mm-hmm.
of those 6 or 7,
Mm-hmm.
they're all on crappy teams, right?
Well, yeah. Well, the ones that the 6 or 7 didn't make. Yeah, I guess the ones out of all of them they didn't make the playoffs. I don't believe, with the
Right,
exception of Marcus Smart.
right, exactly. So that being said, everybody can sit there and talk about there's a player in the draft to be the next Klay Thompson. Unfortunately, Golden State is not going to pick till whatever the second to last or the last pick in the draft. They're not going to get that person that's going to be the next Klay Thompson.
True.
So, I mean, everybody could talk that crap, but unless you're crappy to get that next person, you're not going to get it. You know? So, if Klay picks up and leave, that's what's haunting Oklahoma City now. Because Harden has said, you know what, I'm sick and tired of being in the shadow of KD, sick and tired of being in the shadow of Russell. I want to be my own man. And you saw what happened to him. He choked. All I'm saying is, Kate, that Harden had a great opportunity in Oklahoma City if he'd have stayed. He didn't see that. He couldn't see KD going down. He couldn't see Westbrook going down. But he wanted to be his own man.
It's funny that because I always never got that whole lineup with OKC because why would you put Harden as the 6th man when he could have easily been the starting point guard and you would have kept, he would have been, if you would have had, the whole starting lineup, Westbrook, Harden at the 2 guard, Durant at the 3, like what else, Ibaka, like what else did you need? That's what I never understood. Like, understand you wanted to bring him off the bench, but he deserved that spot as a starting shooting guard.
True.
And which probably could have been one of the reasons why, like, he knew he was going to get more time if he left than staying with the team.
True. And Klay, if you want to say Klay Thompson, yeah, he does start, but yeah, he does some amazing things too.
Yeah.
But it's not Klay's team.
No, it's not going to be Klay's team. No, even though it says Splash Brothers, but we all know because, truth be told, you have the MVP on the team. So it would have been difficult. Just like just like it's difficult now with Kyrie Irving because LeBron came back and now it's LeBron's team. And to be honest, any team that LeBron goes to is going to be LeBron's team. Just like he did with Miami. It wasn't Dwayne Wade's team anymore. It was LeBron's team. And just like in Cleveland now, it's still LeBron's team. Mm-hmm. And it's you're never going to get out of that. You're never going to get out of that shadow unless you do something completely different, or you're just going to have to accept the fact that you're going to be second, in comparison to.
Let me ask you this. This is a long shot. My Wade is not happy in Miami right now with his money. What do you think of the chances that Wade said, you know what, LeBron, I'm going to return the favor to you, and I'm going to come to Cleveland, and I'm going to play the 2?
That doesn't make no sense. I'm not saying no. It really doesn't make sense. So you just made a trade for J.R. Smith and Iman Shumpert, who are better athletes and younger at this point than where you are.
Yeah.
You're injury prone, but yet you're gonna want to come to Cleveland because and complain that you're not gonna get no minutes, or if you do start, you take a minutes away from J.R. Smith and Iman Shumpert.
Mm-hmm.
That mixture won't work, because you have the youth and the athleticism needed to guard these small guards. These shooting guards. Don't get me wrong. Like, I'm not saying like, Wade is a shell of himself. I'm just saying it doesn't make sense. He's been in the league long enough where he's done everything that he needed to do. If you go to Cleveland, you're gonna mess up the defensive side with you're restricting minutes for Iman and JR, which you need them for the defensive person, especially Iman Shumpert. So
True.
I
True.
mean, like that wouldn't make sense if he does it. It's not going to benefit Cleveland. It may do it from the offensive side, but they need defense.
Right. Right.
I just don't. I mean, I'm not saying that it won't happen. I'm just saying it doesn't make sense if it does happen.
Scoring update. Warriors have stepped back up in the game now. It's 31-27 Cleveland. 7:41 in the second quarter.
Okay, that must mean the bench is in the game probably.
Right.
I would not be surprised if the bench is going to carry them through. We're almost getting out of time anyway, but I just want to get your quick thoughts on, because I know I haven't spoken to you about it, but your thoughts on the FIFA corruption stuff with the president stepping down.
He knew what the heck was going on. How you gonna be a president don't know what all types of briberies and all types of crap going on? So, I mean, FIFA's not going to stop, but FIFA isn't going to be any better until they get the right people in place to do the job correctly. So,
yeah, no, it's just amazing how he was so blatant about it, and they still voted him in. It just somebody else said that he accepted bribes. Like he admitted to accepting bribes just to get the FIFA to come to his country, to host in his country. So I believe it was South Africa. I'm not 100% sure, so don't quote me on that. But I believe it was South Africa that said, yeah, we accepted the bribes, and we wanted to get them to come down. So it's just the whole thing about a lot of people not caring about it here in the U.S., but it's huge outside of the U.S.
Right.
That's something for people to understand, because for Loretta Lynch to even do something like that is a major step. Like that's a major step. So like you said, hopefully they'll clean up their acts. Probably be a while before they do that, but hopefully they'll clean up their acts somewhere down the road.
Yeah, FIFA's gonna be all right. I mean, every sport wants to get big, has some sort of scandal. This is their scandal right now. They'll get past it, and they'll be all right. So,
sorry about that. My phone just came up for no reason. I agree with you about that. FIFA is definitely going to get past it. I mean, the rest of the U.S. outside the U.S., everybody loves FIFA soccer anyway. So,
man, don't get it twisted. It's loved in the U.S. too. It's just
that's true too.
Just not on that It's just not on that global scale just yet.
Not yet. But it's good that everything works out. It's going to work out, because now people are taking notice and they're on watch. So we'll see how things play out down the road.
Right.
But we could talk about this more. My phone is still going off. We could talk about this more a little bit later, or next week, I should say.
Sounds good.
For everybody else, guys talking sports, I really appreciate you guys checking us out. Again, if you want to, please subscribe on YouTube, which is on the lower right-hand side. Everybody else, you can reach. Oh, actually, before I do that, Ace, is there anything you want to plug, like where people can find you and stuff like that?
You would think that I would know my Twitter handle off the top of my head, but I really don't. But let me look it up for you really quick. You can find me on Twitter at CatDaddy1963. That's cat like a cat, daddy like a daddy. 1963 on Twitter. Feel free to hit me up. You got some criticism I got fixed in. Feel free to let me know if there some things I could be doing differently to make things a little bit better. But appreciate everybody, like my man Al said, that comes out, listens to us, leaves us feedback. We really appreciate it. We look forward to making this hopefully a household name in the near future. So that's all I have.
You pretty much plugged everything I was gonna say. No, but like I said, I'll put everything up on the video so that you guys can actually see where the Twitter handles are. But for me, of course, you can catch me on my blog now on www.alquarles.com. You can catch me on Twitter now at IAMALQUARLES. Don't worry, it should be showing on the screen right now. For everybody else, I really do appreciate you if you subscribe. Give us comments as much as possible. I really do appreciate it. Don't worry, we'll get to them as much as we can. We'll answer majority of the comments that are out there. For everybody else, thank you for listening. We're going to continue bringing it to you with more sports, talking more sports each and every week. Again, this is Al Qualls for Guys Talking Sports. Until next time.